Good evening, YouTube. This is Minute here, Minute Havoc over on Twitch. We are getting ready to talk about this week's exciting news. We are here with Twitch Chat, and I personally am pretty excited. So let's dive into the big announcements that we got going on. So first up, let's see. We're gonna get new events and new units. So here's the big thing, guys. We're getting this Winners End 2021 celebration. And as you can see, spoilers, it looks like we are getting Winter Venera and Winter Victoria coming this week. So I personally am incredibly excited about these units. I think Winter Venera and Winter Victoria are both great designs. I'm pretty happy about their kits. And yeah, I'm just very excited that we are getting something a little unexpected this week. I was really hoping that Gumi would throw a surprise at us, something we weren't expecting, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. So let's see, continuing on in the video, right? For those not familiar, Winter Venera is a pugilist with a ninja subjob and a spellblade subjob. This makes her puts her in a similar category as Waldor or Raldor. But with the Spellblade subjob, she's a bit more of a magic bruiser tank, which I feel like differentiates her a little bit. She's also going to have passives that boost Earth units because she herself is an Earth unit. And so I think for the next month or so, because she's still relevant in JP right now, once she gets her EX job. But for the next month or so, I could see Kilfe, Venera, and Ryryu comps being pretty strong before EX jobs really hits. So personally, I'd be really excited about trying that comp out. I think it would be a lot of fun. Gumi does mention in the video that EX jobs, that these units will get EX jobs at some point in the future. They will be updated. They did not say when, so this is might be a sticking point for some people. There's no guarantee that they're getting the EX jobs quickly. Um, and I could see I could see it going either way, right? Like either we'll get them shortly after EX job release because we aren't really getting them that much earlier in the timeline than JP got them, right? These units came right after Final Fantasy X for JP, which is what we're expecting for next month. So they're about a month early, but we're not getting the EX version. So I think they'll be well balanced for today's meta. But if they don't get their EX jobs relatively quickly, I would be pretty disappointed. So there are no guarantees with these units, just something to keep in mind. Continuing on, we get to, let's see, Christmas Victoria is coming out as well. She is a main job sniper, similar to Nivlu. Sub job dual gunner, sub job paladin. So the main difference between her and Nivlu is she's going to be much better about busting through armor. Especially with the new bow that's coming out that has defense penetration. Dual gunner, she can get crazy amounts of defense pen, and she's also going to be a bit tankier thanks to her paladin sub job. So she could be a very interesting unit as well. And so we'll see what ends up happening with her. That is a great question, Cerebu. How are people going to get shards for EX jobs after the banner goes away? I'm going to assume, Cerebu, that they probably have something in mind where shortly after like the FF10 and anniversary, they'll have a special week where or a special couple weeks where they make our limited time units available to get the EX jobs. So I would assume that they might give Christmas Mashiri, Christmas Ramada, etc. EX jobs early and just sort of like release those EX jobs near the start of the EX stuff and give us like a 2 or 3 week period where they're featured for shards, right? I could see something like that. That would be my expectation. right? Otherwise, like you said, like my big fear is that yes, they'll get EX jobs and they've technically kept their word, but we won't get them till Christmas, which would be hugely problematic as far as I'm concerned, right? I it would be a pretty big bait on Gumi's part, and I think they would really alienate a lot of their customers if they did that. So yeah, so Christmas Victoria is coming. And now the one of the things I'll highlight though, right, is a lot of people are worried about like EX jobs are right around the corner, right? And so we don't know when these units will get their EX jobs. We got FF10 right around the corner. Are these units worth pulling for without EX jobs right now, right? And so one thing that I think might be overlooked by some people that I think is actually important to highlight, Dr. Diggs did a video about a week ago where he talked about the upcoming Trials of Reckoning and how to get prepared for them. And the reason I bring that up is because there was a couple of interesting things done for those that I think are going to be significantly different for the global version. So one of them is that the Ribbon Trials of Reckoning got a rerun in JP, and the extra large bonus unit for that in JP was Halloween Ryu. And I have a really hard time seeing them do the same thing in global, given that we're nowhere near Halloween right now. And so there's not really any reason for them to feature Halloween Ryu in that way. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were to feature some other unit as the bonus unit if we get that event rerun, potentially being our winter units. And so if you don't have a ribbon and you are wanting to go hard on that event, it's something to keep in mind, right? Like, there's no guarantee what that bonus is going to be, but it's probably not going to be Halloween Ryu. The other thing I'll also mention is JP got a Trials of Reckoning for Final Fantasy X. And that Trials of Reckoning that they got with Final Fantasy X, right, came out, and Christmas Venera was a large bonus unit for it. So Tidus, Yuna, Auron were all extra large bonus units on that event. Christmas Venera was a large bonus unit on that event. And I don't know a whole lot about the event and what they're weak to, but it is something that, again, I think people need to be aware of, right? Christmas Victoria was not a bonus unit on that event, but Christmas Venera and Victoria came out with about 2 weeks, I believe, separating them in JP. And so Christmas Victoria actually came out after the JP Trials of Reckoning event. So I wouldn't be surprised if both of these units ended up as large bonus units for the Final Fantasy X Trials of Reckoning. Now that might not be too important because the reward is not particular. Like, you don't need to farm like 2 or 3 of them, like you might have wanted to for the ribbon or the wind lance, right? It's just Tidus's necklace. It gives some magic resist, I believe, and some crit damage up, and so it's not bad, but it's also not like, oh, I gotta get 3 of these things, right? But one thing that I think looks interesting to keep in mind is Tidus is an extra large bonus unit on that NJP, and then Glaciella was also a large bonus unit. And so if Christmas Victoria ends up as a large bonus unit and they keep Glaciella on there, suddenly you have 2 water units as large bonus units and a water unit as an extra large bonus unit. And I could see water chaining teams being really powerful potentially on that map, especially if the boss ends up being weak to water. I'm not sure if he's primarily weak to water or ice, but something to keep in mind, and probably check out Dr. Diggs' video about that event, just to have like a better idea of what we're expecting. But I could see these units playing a role there. I'll also remind everyone that Christmas Venera was featured on a raid, and my understanding is that raid was pretty easy overall. But JP had EX jobs when that raid hit. And so if we end up getting that raid before Final Fantasy X comes around, and that raid is actually pretty important because it has the Santa outfit with the massive evade on it, that could be a really big deal for having Christmas Venera for it if we don't if there aren't other good ways to do that raid. Again, I haven't looked into too many details there, but just something to keep in mind for those that care a lot about making sure PvE content is as easy to farm as possible. These units could play a role in several upcoming events. Continuing on with the news, we get some other exciting things. We get these new feature tokens where you can increase some of this stuff. For me, I think the Esper EXP acquisition up and the Vision Card EXP acquisition, like these things look like the bigger, the key things to invest in here. I'm not sure item sell price is worth anything. Same for equipment item EXP acquisition up, right? I tend to not lack in these things, whereas I tend to struggle with vision card eggs, etc. Continuing on, we see Guild Battles is getting an update. This looks very exciting. You get attack and defense logs displayed in real time, and you get a change to the battle outcome that should probably result in fewer draws. I also think that this is gonna be really encourage people to fill out their guild roster. You're gonna need to fill up your guild just to make sure that you have more attacks at the end. It'll also be nice to be able to see attacks remaining from both your guild and the opposing guild. It'll no longer be a guessing game. Oh, Scorponok actually brings up a great point, guys. Item sell price, if that impacts Gil Snappers, that could actually be a pretty big deal and might be worth investing in for those who are perennially short on Gil like I am. We've got Class Match coming back with several updates. Looks like there will be new titles you can obtain. I'm sure that's exciting for a lot of people. Let's see. Be able to track your stats better for Class Match. That's very exciting. I think we are also getting a new Class Match this week. I don't know too much about the details of that, but I would definitely check out the Let's Talk Tactics podcast with Daniel Boone, Prodigy, and Locke. They, I'm sure, will have all of the details about the upcoming Class Match and how to prepare yourselves for it. Let's see what else. Continuing on. Vision cards, with this huge success, massive success. This seems like a nice bonus, right? Potentially saving you on a bunch of gil for leveling these things up. Right, so I would definitely try to take advantage of this by making sure you don't overcap your guys all the time. Let's see. This is a great quality of life, guys. Not having to worry about this all the time. I am definitely looking forward to that. And let's see. We get a couple of questions that don't seem to really. We don't really get good answers for a lot of these. Right, like, oh, we're considering some updates, etc. Purchasing multiple shop items at once will be nice. And then, of course, guys, the big news we're all waiting for is the Hiroki gift. And I'm pretty pleased with this Hiroki gift. I was a little disappointed with the last one, but 10 Rainbow Fragments of Thoughts, right? 20 Rainbow Vision Spheres, right? This is 6-starring a UR right here, right? The fact that you're basically getting a 6-star UR, fantastic, right? Tons of growth eggs. This is huge. Everyone knows that accessory and armor books are always in short supply. We get a massive amount of gil. We get this great Visior. It's very nice. I'm pretty happy about that. And then for those who, like me, are always desperate for their espers, tons of large energy restores, which will be great for stockpiling for upcoming Trials of Reckoning events, skip tickets, event skip tickets, all of these Magicites, right? I'm like, if you're planning to pull for Bahamut, this is coming at the perfect time. You're gonna hoard these for another month and be set. And so that's the big news from our news video. There's also some in-game news, but most of the big, most exciting updates are coming from here. If I recall from the in-game news, we are getting the Platinum Bow events, I believe, which is going to be the new bow that adds defense piercing instead of missile attack up. That potentially pairs really well with Christmas Victoria, given how much she specializes in busting through tanks. So that could be a great bow to farm as well. And I believe it was class match coming this week. Not 100% sure on that. Thank you everyone for tuning in for this video. I hope this was interesting, and have a great day. I'll also mention that if you are looking forward to pulling for the Christmas units and would like to support my YouTube channel or stream, you can use my Amazon affiliate link to purchase your Amazon coins. Any purchases are much appreciated. Thank you very much.